All right, we're switching it up today. Today I'm going to be making my first MMA video, which I'm going to be recording two today because I split between two topics. So first, in this video, I'm going to be covering Conor McGregor. As we know, recently, Dana announced that Conor will not be fighting Micheal Chandler, and Micheal Chandler is going to be fighting Charles Olivera, which is, to be honest, one-way traffic. I don't know what that matchmaking is. Obviously, we'll see if Charles ends up getting another title shot after that. I would like to see that, but let's talk about who Conor McGregor's potential next opponent could be. Now, for the people that do follow McGregor, have been seeing there has been bumps in the road for him returning back into the octagon. You know, his broken toe, videos of him in the club, videos of him struggling not to drink his own beer.
The stout, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the cream on that man, yeah? Now they say... That's unbelievable, folks.
Which was a bit concerning, and obviously he filmed that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, and Micheal Chandler was done with it. He waited 2 years of his career when he's already on the older side, so we decided to take the Charles fight instead. For him for not playing Conor's games anymore. But is the question, like, is Conor coming back? Like, they keep saying, like, that he is. Dana keeps saying he is, and now he's saying it's not Micheal Chandler. But with what Conor keeps on doing, it's just kind of hard to believe at this point. Some people, like Chael Sonnen on his YouTube channel, was calling out Conor's injuries, saying that he just bruised his toe, didn't just break it, and stuff like that. Conor has also spoken on the bare knuckle press conference that he would like to try fighting somewhere else, but we know Dana isn't going to do that. Him and Misfits will be huge, you know, in like a KSI fight, but Dana literally just won't let that happen. There is no company that Dana would let Conor go, so him saying that isn't going to do anything. He still has, I think, 2 fights left on his contract, or 1 fight. Now, I'm going to go through a couple opponents from least likely to most likely and what I would like to see. And first off, I'm going to go with the least likely, but honestly, a very entertaining option is Ian Machado Gary. Ian Gary has been scrutinized, to say the least, with his marriage situation. We know Conor McGregor would absolutely dig into him into the fight buildup. Ian Gary looks up to Conor McGregor, being an Irish fighter, so maybe he wouldn't want to, but at the same time, I'm sure he definitely would want to if he would have got the opportunity. That would be a huge fight. And obviously, this would be if Conor still wants to fight at 170 pounds, which is still wild why he wanted to fight Chandler at 170 pounds. Maybe he wants to go lighter if it's not Chandler. Maybe that was a part of it, so maybe that's why he doesn't fight Ian Gary. But Ian Gary was known for being an elite striker until he turned into Khabib against Michael Venom Page. There's a chance that Ian Gary utilizes grappling against McGregor too, which McGregor has shown that he has really good grappling defense because he didn't instantly get destroyed by Khabib. He lasted a couple rounds and showed at good times good defense on the ground. But maybe it'll end up being a striking fight, but I see Ian Gary potentially mixing it up, not just keeping it on his feet, because that's where Conor's strength is. He's obviously going to play into where he could win the most likely, which is awful grammar, but I'm going to just keep going anyway. Now, if we potentially look at the lightweight division, but what I think might be more likely than Ian Gary, but maybe close to as likely as my next one, but not as much due to circumstances which I'll explain in a second, is Justin Gaethje. Now, Justin Gaethje is ranked 3rd right now. This is assuming if Conor is saying, screw it, I'll do better than Chandler. You know, Chandler being lower than both the guys I'm going to be talking about, but I don't see Conor going lower in tiers unless he goes all the way to 15 to fight Patty. I just don't think Patty is a good matchup for him at all. So I don't think Patty is one. But Justin Gaethje and Conor was a dream fight at one point. Never ended up happening. And Gaethje should play right into Conor's game, striking the entire time. Maybe even Conor had have room to do his own grappling at some point. So yeah, I think that is a very good matchup. I just don't think it is as likely because there is no belt involved, which I'll get to in 1 second. Obviously, this fight would have been better if it happened like years ago, but obviously Conor ended up losing to Dustin twice and disappeared for a little bit, so it never ended up happening. But If that fight were to get announced, I'd be gassed. Almost as gassed as the next one. Now, for my pick, for what I think is most likely to happen, and what I would like to see is Conor McGregor versus Dan Hooker for the BMF. Now, in my opinion, this is a banger. Like, in my opinion, obviously, in the mind of the matchmakers is to make a fair fight, but at the same time, they want Conor to win. They want Conor to get a victory. Maybe this might be his last fight. Maybe he makes a crazy call out after. I don't know. Conor's a little unhinged, so we really can't tell what he's going to do. But Dan Hooker versus Conor McGregor for a BMF title is so perfect. Imagine that being a main event or a co-main event of a huge card. Getting Conor McGregor back in there with a belt. Obviously not being a actual title, but still something that he still deserves because he's tough, and so is Dan Hooker, so I think it's perfect. Now, the reason why I don't think it's Gaethje for the BMF is because Gaethje fought for the BMF and kind of got face planted by Max Holloway. Which is still probably the greatest knockout in UFC history. And Justin Gaethje is an absolute savage for even accepting that exchange. And Max Holloway always does that. So those are two badasses. I'm not going to take anything from Justin Gaethje. I just don't think him fighting for the BMF makes sense. And Dan Hooker and Conor are around the same age. Dan Hooker is 34 and Conor is 36. They're both known mainly for their striking. And they're both pretty crazy characters, to be honest, but we can't really compare anybody being tapped to Conor because, you know, a lot of different things. So, man, the build-up will be good. They both are accurate, sharp strikers with some power. And with how some of the divisions are going right now, we need some good striking. You know, now we lost the bantamweight division. We lost the lightweight division, though Islam does throw hands, too. Obviously, I get that, but yeah, I think that's the fight to make. If any of you have a better idea, let me know in the comments. And I'll be probably covering Misfits MMA, which Mam seems very, very interested in and seems like they're going all in and doing. I'm going to cover that probably right after this. Thank you all for watching, like always. Peace out.